This is 5 on your side at 6. Focused on you.
We begin at 6 in storm alert. Record warm temperatures, storms, and now tumbling temperatures across the St. Louis area. Thank you for joining us. I'm Brent Solomon. We are expecting more changes in the next few days. Let's head straight over to Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell with the Weather First forecast.
You know, the change is underway now as that colder air is starting to filter in. We've seen some strong storms across the area. That's why we're in storm alert. We did have a severe thunderstorm warning a couple of hours ago. It expired. But these storms east and southeast of St. Louis are still pretty intense, and they're producing some downpours too. As we zoom in for you and look at these storms, particularly as we look southeast and south of St. Louis, heading it down Interstate 55, these storms have picked up a little bit as you go down from Peevely to Festus, back towards DeSoto and stretching back down Highway 21 into Washington County. Still a couple of stronger storms too. One is approaching Vandalia in Illinois, another one right along the Kaskaskia River there as it's along the Carlisle along the Clinton County, Washington County line. There's a look down in Arnold. Most of the rain now south of this area, which is good. If you're heading out to the Fox football game tonight, the Warriors in the playoffs, there's the wider range. Everything south and east of St. Louis at this point. So our temperatures, that's the biggest story now as we're seeing the drop. And we're not going to be any warmer than we are now over the next several days. Plus the big freeze coming early next week. More on that in a few minutes, Brent.
All right, we'll see you then, Scott. Remember, you can get the Weather First forecast straight to your phone at any time. Text the word weather to 314-425-5355. An update tonight on the car thefts plaguing Kia owners for years now. The automaker is in town helping to fix the flaw that led to the thefts. 5 on your side's Travis Cummings reports from the St. Louis Galleria Mall.
It's been good. Got here about 7:15. Only about 6 people in line.
The early start for Thomas Scheibelhutz and his fellow Kia owners in line at the Galleria parking lot was well worth it.
So my Kia, it doesn't have an immobilizer, I think is the term, but essentially it makes it susceptible to being broken in and stolen quite easily.
They're all in line to get a free software upgrade from the automaker that will prevent thieves from stealing their cars. Kia is servicing models from the years 2011 to 2021 that require a steel key to start the car. The software upgrade takes about 30 minutes.
Here inside the bay, these servicemen are taking this port connector that has the software installed and plugging it into each vehicle for the upgrade.
This is definitely a good step forward. I know people personally who've had their Kias, broken into. Luckily, that hasn't happened to me.
Tamika Sinar hasn't been so lucky.
My window actually got broken into, and it was surprising because it was at an apartment complex.
Police tell us that thefts are still a major problem. Through September, 400 Kias had been stolen this year in St. Louis County, a 70% change from the previous year. And in St. Louis City, for the first half of the year, thieves stole more than 830 Kias, a 58% uptick. The thefts really ramped up after a TikTok trend called the Kia Challenge, demonstrating how to quickly and easily start and steal certain models.
And we're already noticing in cities around the country the crime wave starting to tip down a little bit, other vehicles being focused on by thieves.
They want that same confidence and comfort to reach drivers in St. Louis.
Glad something's being done.
This is a good opportunity, and I love my Kia.
Travis Cummings, 5 on your side.
That clinic will run Saturday and Sunday from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. at the Galleria. To check if your Kia is eligible, we have a link on our website. Look for this story under the As Seen on TV section of KSDK.com. Let's go ahead and see if we can get some live images over at City Park. A lot of excitement in downtown St. Louis. In just 48 hours, the stadium will be filled with fans. It's City SC's playoff debut against Sporting KC. Our Justina Cornell joins us live at the stadium. Justina, I can only imagine all of the excitement surrounding this.
Yeah, Brent, so talking about all of the excitement is the team's CEO. I caught up with her earlier today, and she says she's so proud of this team, and she's proud of St. Louis for their incredible support.
You look amazing. Thank you.
It's a warm embrace, welcoming friends and the future.
Very, very exciting.
St. Louis City SC CEO Carolyn Kendall celebrates her soccer team on Friday. In its first year, City SC clinched a spot in the playoffs.
Well, we were a franchise, so nobody thought that we'd really even make it to the playoffs, much less #1, top of the Western Conference table.
The achievements go beyond the pitch. Kendall says partnerships with local restaurants like Belkin Treat Box are impactful.
We know that over half of our fans that visit a stand in the stadium will go to the brick and mortar to continue to support.
Steve's Hot Dogs also has a concession stand in the stadium.
It was a total game changer. Not only does it offer us a chance to be part of this historic moment in St. Louis sports, but it allows all these small brands an opportunity to be seen like we've never been able to before. That opportunity gave Steve's Hot Dogs the opportunity to open an Enterprise Center with the Blues and to open an America Center as well.
The restaurant's co-owner Danny Eichenhorst believes it's been a boost for St. Louis.
I loved the vision of connecting downtown all the way in, and I feel like this was the missing piece. We're seeing so many more people coming down into St. Louis. It's been a total blessing and a boon for everybody in and around that area.
The outcome for the playoffs is still unknown, but Eichenhorst thinks the city has already won.
St. Louis needed a win, and I think we're always fighting, all of us community members and community leaders, we're fighting for something good in St. Louis.
The game is happening this Sunday at 9 p.m. and the next game is November 5th. This series is best of 3. Reporting in downtown St. Louis, Christina Cornell, 5 on your side.
Well, St. Louis is a step closer to scrapping meaningless elections. If the mayor approves a plan from the Board of Aldermen, any primary races with just 2 candidates will be collapsed into the general election ballot. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, now with more details. Hey, Mark.
Brent, this election reform will only impact city elections, not state or federal contests. The city's approval voting system is designed to narrow down a field of candidates to just the top 2. But what happens when only 2 candidates jump in to begin with?
Since St. Louis voters adopted approval voting in 2020, a number of elections since then haven't decided a winner.
We did have it happen quite a few times. I mean, myself running for this position had to run twice against the same candidate.
Board of Aldermen President Megan Green ran against former Alderman Jack Coder in a special election last fall. Both candidates saw their first primary as a meaningless charade.
It's got to get fixed at some point because this costs money. It costs campaigns money, but it also costs taxpayers money to have elections that basically don't lead to a final result.
At a board meeting Friday morning, aldermen questioned whether these new changes would really save the city money.
These elections, they are expensive, but it would be nice to know how much they believe will be saved.
Roughly $200,000, and that was cheap.
We met with Board of Elections Commissioner Ben Borgmeyer to see how his office handled that special election last fall and how much it cost you. Because it sprang out of an abrupt vacancy.
I mean, we weren't budgeted for that.
He said the city had to find a way to throw it together.
You know, it's something that we had to scrape and, scrounge by to just make it happen.
Soon, redundant ballots could be a thing of the past, thrown out in favor of allowing 2 candidates to advance to the general election if they're the only ones running.
The idea is that votes should mean something.
After all, if an election doesn't determine a winner, what's the point?
You know, it's almost like a opinion poll, right? It's not an election.
The Board of Aldermen sent those changes to Mayor Jones' desk, but her office says they're still reviewing them. If she signs it into effect, the next city election it would impact would be when her name is on the ballot in March of 25.
All right, Mark, thanks for that. Coming up, A-list actors coming to St. Louis to shoot a movie. The local man who inspired the film.